So if you're from Africa, why are you white?
Odd, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
If you even knew how mean she really is, you know that I'm not allowed to wear hoop earrings, right? Yeah, 2 years ago she told me that hoop earrings were her thing, and that I wasn't allowed to wear them anymore.
And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Unfiltered. So today we're going to be talking about the Idaho 4 case and this whole matter of restitution. But before we do, I really want to bring up something very important. And this is a video that I saw on Elise's channel. And it made me so angry that I felt like I really want to smash my phone screen in. Before we go into this matter of restitution, I think we need to address these people. And the reason I feel it's very important to talk about it is because when you look at somebody like Elise, I mean, she's got 1.6 million subscribers. I feel when you have that many subscribers, I mean, she's basically an influencer. So she's got a certain responsibility when she's talking to her viewers to at least tell the truth. This video really got me very riled up, and I'm going to tell you why. She didn't only decide to do her normal weekly headline highlights. She decided that she was going to take a shot, and this is not the first time, mind you, at Bryan Kohberger's sister. Have a listen to this video.
And what I'm sure many of you are thinking, that commissary money, that is income. So any money that is being put on his books by his mommy, his daddy, his sister, who is basically, unfortunately, his identical twin, not real, but looks exactly like him. I mean, imagine having to walk around with his face for the rest of your life. But they're putting money on his commissary books, right? That is income. He's allowed to buy a cup of noodles, a book, shaving cream, whatever the hell he wants to buy. That money should go directly to the victims' families. He should have to pay for the rest of his life. He shouldn't be allowed to buy cushy things to make his life more comfortable and easy in prison and have accessibility to those funds.
Annie tries to say that Bryan Kohberger's sister is basically his twin. Then she quickly backtracks and says, well, not exactly. And she has the balls to say, who would want to walk around with a face like that for the rest of their life? This is just vile. I actually find it vile because I do not expect you to agree with my point of view. I do not believe that Bryan Kohberger did this. You're entitled to your opinion. What you're not entitled to is to take shots at people's looks. I mean, if you wanted to take one at Bryan, that would be one thing. But you stoop right to the bottom of the barrel now when you took a shot at his sister. His family is completely innocent. I mean, they haven't done one thing wrong. Neither has he, but I mean, they are innocent regardless of anything. I find Annie to be an extreme bully. You have an obligation when you have that many followers to at least adhere to some kind of standard at least, and not be a mean girl and not be a bully. It reminds me of those little teenage girls with their buck-fussy friends in school. So I don't know the English word for buck-fussy. It's just like a little group of girls like snickering. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know if you never learned manners growing up, Annie, because that was a low blow, even for somebody like you. You seem to do this a lot with your chummies like Nancy, Brewski, and all the people that you go to Crime Con with, and Banfield, another big-time liar that likes to spew garbage all over her channel. The thing that annoys me is that you people have a huge influence, and this is why the public's opinion on this whole case is so distorted, is because they're not being told the truth as to what happened. You've never once mentioned any of the strange things surrounding the case, and I'm going to tell you now, straight out, you have never investigated this case. It's very easy when you have a script writer that has prepared a script and you sit there and pull your hair back and you read the script and you become very animated. I'm sitting here, no script, and I'm telling you that what you did is low towards him and his sister. To be very honest, if I was his family, I would see you in court. I think I'm going to defend him, and that's why I'm making this video. Because Bryan Kohberger's sister, in my opinion, is a very talented actress. I mean, she did play in a movie. She's beautiful. And maybe you took that shot at her for a reason. Because let me tell you something. If you ask me, next to Bryan Kohberger's sister, you look like fucking Freddy Krueger. Another thing that I'm going to say, nobody cares about lies. I think we're all past that stage of having lies. You going on all these big road trips and calling yourself everybody's crime BFF. What a load of crap is that? The women that actually believe you, and the first thing you do is come onto your channel before you even talk about this very, very serious case, is to address your audience saying, I'm coming to you all fresh-faced. I just had microneedling done.
Elise. And look, for all of you who are watching this on YouTube, I am coming to you fresh-faced. I just got microneedling done, which I do microneedling like 4 times a year. I swear to God, it has changed my skin entirely. I don't do the vampire one where they like take your own plasma and blood and spin it and put it on your face, but I just do the regular one with like exomes and stuff. So anyway, I just got microneedling done. And so for the first 24 hours, you're not supposed to put anything on your face because your pores are like the most open they will be. So I'm coming to you fresh-faced.
Nobody gives a damn about your microneedling. But okay, that's my rant over. So, do better. Don't stoop to that level. I just find it so vile. But let's get into this matter of restitution. So the whole thing started with Bryan Kohberger's defense team asking the judge to excuse him from paying extra restitution to the victims' families, saying that those costs have already been covered through public donations. After his guilty plea in July 2025, Bryan was ordered to pay about $290,000 in restitution. But prosecutors recently asked for another $27,000+ to cover travel and lodging expenses for the Gonzalez and the Morgan families. Now, Bryan's attorneys argued that these very same expenses were already funded through GoFundMe accounts. The Gonzalez family raised about $85,000 and the Morgan family $48,000+, and that Idaho law only allows restitution for actual financial losses. They also said that Bryan has no way to pay since he's serving 4 life sentences, and the prosecution disagrees. They say that the donations don't erase his legal responsibility. Bryan has still been receiving outside money while in prison. There is a hearing set for the 5th of November, and this is when the judge is going to decide whether he's going to grant the defense's request. But didn't Steve say that he wants nothing to do with Kohberger after sentencing? So I don't mean any disrespect at all. So I wonder if the families asked themselves if this is what Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, or Ethan would have wanted. We do know that a movie is coming out. It does seem to me they want even more money. And if they did, they should have filed a civil lawsuit. To me, that would have made a whole lot more sense. The question is, firstly, what happened to that GoFundMe? Who profits off of this movie? And if you ask me, in my opinion, I think Bryan Kohberger's family should also be entitled, I know people will disagree, to some of this money from the books, the movie. I just find it very disturbing. I mean, I know when you've lost a loved one, there's a lot of pain, but there is also no amount of money that is going to bring them back. So to me, it's starting to feel a little bit tacky and grubby. I mean, I do understand that they need help for losses with travel, accommodation, but it seems almost like they're profiting off the horrific deaths of these 4 students. Then there's the whole matter of going after Bryan for more money. I mean, you have to remember that the entire reason that he's serving 4 life terms in prison is because he couldn't afford a private attorney in the first place. So I just don't see how he could possibly pay anyone anything. Now, I picked up on something. Even though Bryan took this guilty plea and gave up his right to a direct appeal, this case isn't really closed. A lot of people maybe missed that. The thing is, normally once somebody is sentenced to life in prison, the defense team would actually step back and basically this case would be over. But the very fact that Ann Taylor is still actively involved is quite unusual, in my opinion. And it tells me a lot. The very fact that she hasn't actually walked away from this case indicates that there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. I certainly hope so. Now, I know there are things like post-conviction motions or other legal challenges that could easily reopen certain parts of the case. To me, the fact that she's still actively involved does say a lot. How is he supposed to even earn money? Like I said, Bryan is serving 4 life sentences plus 10 years. So realistically, there isn't any way for him to make any serious money. Technically, prisoners earn a very tiny bit of money through work programs. I think in Idaho, it's like 10 or 30 cents an hour for jobs that they do inside the prison. So even if he worked every single day, well, that money would barely cover things like snacks, soap, phone credits, and it's nowhere near enough paying these hundreds and thousands of dollars in restitution. People saying that he could earn money in the future is technically true, but it's meaningless because he wouldn't be able to pay anything substantial. And the thing that bothers me in people like Annie or Nancy Grace's comment section is that people are saying that they should go after his family. They're even questioning the fact that his family is sending him money. I mean, listen, the guy's locked up. So let's say if you live in the delusional world where you believe that this case was investigated above board and that Bryan Kohberger was in fact guilty. To me, even if you are guilty of a crime, then you are still entitled to basic human rights. You know, prison is not there to punish you or teach you a lesson, especially when you're serving a life sentence. So it's not like he's going in there for a short period and going to be rehabilitated. That is not what prison is for. All these people that say he's not entitled to anything and that they should actually go after his family for money. I mean, I don't know what planet you're living on. He is still a human being, or for that matter, any prisoner is still a human being, and they are entitled to commissary money. I mean, how is he supposed to buy basic things that the prison doesn't provide? So if you have a problem with him receiving this commissary, why don't you, Annie, stop going on road shows and go and petition outside of Idaho's prison where you wish worse on him? And that's going to bring me to my next point. So no, Annie, commissary money is not an income. Neither is money that is put on his books by, as you refer to them, his mommy or his daddy. They're entitled to send him money, so is anyone else. But like I said, this is not the first time you've taken shots at him. Have a look at this video.
Just cleaning his shoes very, very carefully. But then there's this one. I don't know what that was that he just put on top there, but then watch his behavior here. He just like looks around, pretty still, looks up, just standing there like a statue kind of, just like, I mean, look, nothing super groundbreaking, obviously, but still curious what he's doing. And like, we all know he's OCD. We all know he like is a germaphobe, but like, what was that he just put up there? Why is he just standing there so stoic?
So this video in particular actually really left a very bad taste in my mouth. I mean, basically Annie is saying, in her pinned comments that she heard that other prisoners are throwing poop at Bryan Kohberger after putting a leaked video on her channel, which should not be there, and saying she loves that for him. Read the comments underneath. This is encouraging other people to wish ill on him. I've said this before. How have we downgraded as human beings that we laugh and mock even if anybody is guilty? I mean, this is not even about Bryan Kohberger. How do you wish that other prisoners who have committed the most horrific acts in history throw poop at another prisoner? That is not prison justice. You are thirsty for vengeance, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but vengeance is not yours. I know it seems like I'm being a little bit mean towards Annie, but there's something that I truly despise, and that is a bully. Now, these big channels that lie to us and undermine our intelligence are the same channels that people follow all the time, and they just take them at their word. So I personally don't have anything against Annie as a human being, but what she's doing on her channel is quite revolting, and that is what is swaying the public opinion on these cases. I mean, we can't argue that there is a huge miscarriage of justice, not only in this case, but in many. And what a lot of these big channels do is they get handed a script. They get 2, 3, 4 sponsors per video. I always say, follow the money. Because when you are listening to people who are basically paid to lie, I particularly don't care if somebody is paid for their YouTube channel. I do believe that everybody deserves some compensation for their work. But when you are lying for that compensation, that is not content creation. That is brainwashing, in my opinion. That's what I have to say on it. I honestly don't like being mean, but I think it's time we start calling these people out, because Bryan Kohberger was found guilty by public opinion before he even entered a courtroom. I know somebody asked me, why do I think he pled guilty? And that's probably a video for another day. I mean, think for yourself. There are many reasons that somebody would take a guilty plea. I think Bryan knew that the odds were stacked against him. Public opinion was stacked against him, and I mean, what chance did he have? I think the boy is a lot brighter than what we give him credit for. Please be careful what you consume. Let me know your thoughts on the restitution matter in the next video. Please don't forget to consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Until next time, be safe.